supporting all the shows on Realcast and X Squad, and I appreciate you a whole lot. We got Key C from the Kicking It with Key C show, X Squad affiliate, who does the Kicking It with Key C show. All you have to do is follow him on Spreaker and you will get an alert. We got my man Cedric Galloway. That's what I'm talking about right there. With the Raiders avatar. You all right, sir? There go the Raiders avatar. Cedric Galloway. That's all you need right there. Everybody, you should look at that avatar. Let's give him another round of applause. That's an avatar. Miss Mocha Simone Bella, tribute to the gymnast. Thanks for coming on the train, Mocha. Is this your first? No, this is like your second or third time. I appreciate it. You don't come in the chat much. Thanks for coming aboard, Miss Mocha. I appreciate you. We got my main Sluggo the Hammer. Sluggo the Hammer is on the train. We call my man the Hammer. He's also the attorney for the X Squad and Realcast. I call him the Hammer because he comes in hitting you over the head with a lot of knowledge and a lot of facts. I appreciate you coming aboard, sir. Wait a minute, we got my man RC, boxing aficionado. I believe one of 15 to 20 ninjas that live in Minnesota. I'm just kidding, sir. I'm just kidding. Thanks for coming aboard the train, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh, wait a minute, we got DJ Nunu on the train. Thanks for coming in, Nunu. I appreciate it. Please, Nunu was a derivative of the Spicy Conversation show, not a derivative, but a listener, and has worked our way through and has been supporting. Thank you very much for coming aboard the train. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a whole bunch. All right, thank y'all for coming aboard. We're going to go ahead and set the show up, and I got a little bit more to say about this situation with Lotch T and just my perspective as far as like Gabby Douglas and the way they've the theme today is, man, I said it must be nice. It has to be nice to be white. And I don't mean that to be offensive, but it has to be nice to know that whatever you do, even if you're wrong, you're going to get a fair shake most of the time. That has to be a comfortable feeling, but since it's that way, they wouldn't even know that it's that comfortable. And I don't want to sound offensive, I'm just saying be realistic about it. And just listen to some of the things I'm saying, and just if you can give me an explanation outside of who these people are and what they look like as to how they're covered or how they're portrayed, I'd love to hear it, and I'm really not joking about that. You can look at the top of the chat. The number is 30731 Ninja, 30731 Ninja. And man, this is the way I kind of go about my show. I try to give a different perspective because I feel that most radio kind of goes one way. I think that's really why we started doing this. So I feel most radio goes one way. So in my opinion, you got to have just perspective, man, and an adverse opinion. Just perspective and an adverse opinion. But the whole thing with Lotchi and the swimmers, we got a few more things we're going to talk about with that. And I like to compare that to the whole Gabby Douglas thing, where Gabby did nothing wrong, but they were looking for something to talk about and just picked at her over nothing. But in this case, they're actually looking to not go hard when there is all of this to get at. You know what I'm saying? You actually have facts. You even have videotape. But the same aggressiveness and vitriol is just not being showed. It blows me away. I'm also going to talk about this entire narrative that Rex Ryan is on the hot seat, which I don't understand. He's in his second year. That doesn't really make sense to me, but that is the media narrative, and I'll tell you why I believe that is. We're going to discuss King Goodell, I guess you'll call him, and the Al Jazeera, I guess, outrage that he has decided to display like 2 or 3 months late. But we'll get into that. We'll get into why he seems to be upset about this, and now he's ready to be an aggressive. Now he's ready to be an aggressive, an aggressive commissioner, which he's always been. He's kind of been power hungry, you know what I'm saying, in the way he goes about it. So I guess technically, in that regard, he hasn't changed much.
Hey, what's up, man?
In that regard, he hasn't changed much in that regard. So what I would say to that is I don't know, man. We'll get into it, but it's just too convenient for me. He chooses to be upset at this point and go after and decide to go hard at this particular subject. You know, this is what he wants to be passionate about. And I don't know. I don't get it. It's a little odd to me, but this is the way he's going about it. But he wants to attack Al Jazeera now after Peyton Manning retires. I find that hysterical. I find that to be hysterical, very, very much so. And we're going to also discuss, it's not a story, man. Really, it's the RG3 story, but it's not really about that. I'm going to discuss why it makes absolutely no sense for that to have made any headlines at all. But I mean, at any rate, that's really what I'm going to go over today. And if we have time, I might do a little AFC West breakdown. But considering how the show normally goes, I really doubt we'll have time to do a breakdown on the division. I seriously doubt that. So what we'll do is we'll get into these stories and we'll roll with it from there. Y'all crazy. I'm looking at some of this chat. All right, I'm going to read some of this chat just as a reaction to the way I started off before I take that back. Let me finish my little rant now so I can read the chat in full, because I'm sure y'all are going to lead me to where I'm going, because y'all always do. But the whole Lotchi situation, forgive me if I'm butchering his name, with the swim team and what they did in Brazil, the problem is basically they were acting like spoiled brats, acting like jackasses, all the things that hateful ninjas do. Any little thing they do is perceived as being a jackass or childish. If it's an end zone dance or walking away from a press conference, they want to raise hell. But when you have people actually acting like asses, vandalizing the bathroom, pissing on the walls and whatnot, disrespecting the country, misrepresenting your team and your country, the U.S. of A. that you claim to love, but you're not pissed about that. It doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I said it before, are they just incapable of covering black people properly? Are they unwilling to? Or are they just that bad at their job? I don't have my theories on it, but I don't see how it can be anything but those three. You can't tell me that somebody can consistently not see the truth or only see it if the person involved in the story has, like features. And I mean, even I think something that the media is probably going to try to lean on is the fact that they might have guns pulled on them. But I mean, again, you have to keep in mind, swimmers, Michael Phelps is a big, tall dude. I'm sure them dudes are probably all 6'3", 6'4", 6'2". They're probably all really big dudes. There's about 4 or 5 of them. And plus they vandalized the place and were getting ready to leave. Side note, there were 2 women with them. I don't know if they were in the car or what. So, I mean, I'm just saying, they were out probably kicking and partying, drunk, had a couple of bras, probably finna get it in if they hadn't finished already. But no, they're not going. This is their dream. This is what they go after. Can you imagine if Usain Bolt did this? Can you imagine if Gatlin did this? Or just, what if Bolt and Gatlin or the Jamaican track team went out and kicked it, and this is what they did. They busted down the bathroom, pissed all on the walls, then came out, got some guns put on them, paid them off, and left and had a couple of women with them. Do y'all really think y'all wouldn't have this story shoved down your throat already? And that's my only thing, man, that there's no way this is not something to go after. No way. And the whole thing about the guns being pulled on them, I mean, okay, they're saying that Brazil is dangerous and this got to be on your P's and Q's and be careful. But from what I can tell, they didn't get shot. So hell, maybe Brazilian police officers and security guards have more tact and mental stability than the average police officer in this country. I'm just saying. Let's read a little bit of this chat here before I move on or go any further, because I don't want to lose anybody's input on this particular subject. Kesey says the bird flu. Yeah, that's another one. There was a bird flu too. I forgot about that. The bird flu went away too. Remember, that was going to get everybody. The bird flu was deadly too. From my man, wait a minute. Hello. Oh yeah. Ebola. Ebola. That's right. There was another one. Don't forget about, Kesey says, don't forget about Ebola. Yeah. Ebola, or was it Ebola? It was either Ebola or Ebola. I think it was Ebola. But yeah, that was that too. Were there any more? I'm sure there was some more diseases. I'm just saying though, notice how them diseases come and go? Notice how those diseases come and go? I'm just saying, it's a little weird. It is what it is, I guess. It's kind of convenient how some deadly disease always comes around and then that deadly disease seems to disappear. I wonder what happened to those African killer bees. They must have got sidetracked. They must have had Christopher Columbus type navigation skills, I guess. Ended up in South America. I don't know. From Sluggo, those guys. Yeah, wait a minute. I'm sure. Wait a minute. Let me read this properly. From Sluggo, those guys were stupid drunk, but they weren't drunk enough to understand that narrative that was already set in motion before and during the Olympics of a poor and violent country. They tied that shit together quickly, knowing full well folks would believe them without any proof. But cameras are Mickey Ficky. You better preach, Sluggo. And I knew you was going to take me where I wanted to go, man. Let me go ahead and discuss that part of it. Let's let that bomb drop. See, that's what I'm talking about, Sluggo. See, that's what I'm saying. In this situation, I was talking about the media coverage and the way they went about. They're going about it. How they attacked Gabby Douglas over nothing. How they are on. They were on Gatlin about looking to the side when he was running, right, or something to that effect. So I mean, they're on him about that. But you have all of this right in front of you. Spoiled Americans. Thugs. You got thug behavior. You got 3 or 4 thugs breaking down a door. They're representing America. Busting in a bathroom door, vandalizing the place, urinating on the walls. Got a couple of hoes with them. Which, it's their prerogative. I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, why are you drawing attention to yourself? Just go in there and ask for a key. Oh, side note. This is kind of interesting, I guess. Ryan Lochte got charged with public urination in 2010. So I guess he just got a problem with pissing once he get drunk. I don't know. But, I'm just saying, what Sluggo was saying is they knew that if they just gave this country full of brown people and dangerous people tried to rob us story, all would be forgiven. Just like the police know if they say this ninja attacked me or I felt in danger, they're going home. Same thing. The same way the media knows they can ish on any ninja they want to. It doesn't matter what the story is. Doesn't matter if it's proven wrong. They barely even have to apologize afterwards, and they're not going to lose their job. So that's what Sluggo's talking about, and that was the point I was going to make. And thank you for that, Sluggo, once again. Great point by Sluggo the Hammer, and that's why we call him the Hammer. They knew that privilege existed even over there. They knew it's like part of the DNA that I know I can do this. I know I can get away with this. I know all I have to do is blame it on somebody brown. And it's cool, even in Brazil. And that's what they did. And so far it's working. Really, people are going to focus on the whole gun thing. And again, I'm just saying, if the situation was reversed, here, the police pull guns, they shoot and kill. Those people show restraint. Maybe they should teach our cops how to use restraint. I'm just saying, come on, dude. Seriously. I'm just saying, though, dude, they were on Gabby Douglas because her hands were to the side. But this happens, and you want to be quiet and make sure you get the story right before you say what you're going to say?
Motherfucker.
That ain't cool, bro. That ain't cool, man. They got to do better than that. And that's for real. It's piss poor, and I hate it just happens too often, man. Again, are they unwilling to cover black people properly? Are they unable to? So let me define this. By unwilling, I mean that they have some type of problem with black people and they're not going to cover them properly. Unable means they grew up a certain way and just don't understand black people, so they don't know that they're biased, which I don't believe for a minute, but some people have that perspective. Or 3, they're simply not good at their job. I believe it's the former. But I know they consistently can't get their shit together when it comes to journalism and what they're supposed to be doing, which is covering the story. From a man Cedric Galloway with the Raider avatar. Let's give him another round of applause for that, man. Can't get enough applause for that avatar. From Cedric. Sluggo, those cameras were like, nah, bruh. Y'all fools were drunk and you lying. Yes, sir. Yeah, the cameras a motherfucker, right? They had that's what I'm saying. What about the whole lie thing? Aren't they always outraged when a ninja lies? Remember the whole thing they kept saying, well, Mike Vick, the problem was that he lied. With anybody, when there's an issue, they always say the problem is that he lied. That's always what they say. But it just doesn't seem to be that way when that person does not have melanin. It's just funny how that goes. Wait a minute. We go from probably the best Avi in the chat. Well, wait a minute. The second best Avi in the chat to the worst one in the chat. Clay boiling ass ribs Davis. I know he's being funny though. What's going on, Clay? A pot of boiling ribs. Lord have mercy. You can Google anything. Yeah, man. There was You know what? Thank you, Clay. I'm gonna address that before the show's over with because that has to be talked about. That's a travesty. We have several Stewies that boil their ribs, and not only do they boil them, they're not ashamed to tell you that they boil them. You're supposed to hide that shit. You ain't supposed to let nobody know you boil ribs. You're supposed to be ashamed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's something you like. That's something you like hide, like a family member going to jail. They say where he at. He went down south, or he in the country, or he out of town on a job or something. You know what I'm saying? They just, no, he doing 10-12. Yeah, I boil my ribs. You just shouldn't be so comfortable saying that out loud. I'm not saying that it don't taste good either. I'm just saying you don't boil ribs, man. I digress.